Good afternoon, and welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program.
This program is brought to you by the Southwest TV Translator Association and supported by the Dolores County Broadcasting Network on DCTV.
The News at Noon program is the best assembly of news and local weather for the Four Corners region. Give us your feedback and news alerts at 677-4119.
With all that said, I'm Kendra Cook, and my co-host is Kelsey Kiesling and Jerry Tope. And now, for April 6, 2016, here's the news. From the Cortez Journal, Election Day results came in. Dolores elected 5 town board members and a mayor in Tuesday's municipal election, according to unofficial results. Candidates Isabel Boyce, James Biard, Robert Dorby, Duval Trulson, and write-in candidate Trevor Inc. all won board seats. The new mayor is Santiago Lopez, who ran unopposed. The results are unofficial until the canvass next week. There's still time for 5 overseas ballots to arrive. The town had a 31% turnout. The winners of the Cortez City Council election are Karen Sheik, Ty Keel, Tim Miller, and Jill Carlson. As the 3 highest voted, Sheik, Keel, and Miller will serve 4-year terms, while Carlson will serve a 2-year term. City Clerk Linda Smith said 1,385 total ballots were cast, about 200 more than in 2012. The city did not have an election in 2014. Ellen Queenie Bars is elected the new mayor of Mancos. Bars won 169 to 75 votes over Will Stone. Ed Hallam, Matthew Baskin, Craig Banley, Lorraine Becker, and Fred Brooks are the winners of the race for the Board of Trustees. As the recipients of the 3 highest numbers of votes, Hallam, Baskin, and Banley will serve 4-year terms on the board. Becker and Brooks will serve 2-year terms on the board. A total of 265 votes were cast in the Mancos election. Voters also weighed in on a ballot issue on whether or not the town can opt out of Senate Bill 152. The issue passed in a landslide with 214 yes votes and just 36 no. Town officials say opting out of the bill will give Mancos more opportunities to use its 3,300 feet of fiber optic line.
According to the Durango Herald, a motorcyclist suspected of leading law enforcement on a 100-mile-per-hour chase crashed Tuesday morning in the 9000 block of La Posta Road, County Road 213, about 5 miles south of Durango. The driver was identified as Richard McDonald, 45, who lives near Ignacio. He was taken to Mercy Regional Medical Center with non-life-threatening injuries, said Dan Bender, La Plata County Sheriff's Office spokesman. A Mercy spokesman said he was treated at the hospital and released. Then he was taken to the La Plata County Jail, where he was being held Tuesday night on a $10,000 bail, Bender said. The incident started at 10:09 a.m. when a deputy saw McDonald leave a liquor store near Walmart and recognized him as having a couple of arrest warrants. The deputy attempted to stop McDonald, but he hopped on his motorcycle and sped away, Bender said. The deputy pursued McDonald at 70 miles per hour, but McDonald allegedly fled at an estimated 100 miles per hour. The chase went past Home Depot and south on La Posta Road. During the pursuit, the motorcyclist went through a construction zone with flaggers and 1-lane traffic, endangering work crews. McDonald crashed going around a curve. His medium-sized black Kawasaki sustained heavy damage. McDonald had warrants in connection to a property crime and a failure to appear in court.
Reported in the Durango Herald from Denver, 8 Republicans seeking Colorado's Republican U.S. Senate nomination said they'd support a Donald Trump presidential nomination as, like Trump, they styled themselves as outsiders intent on fixing a broken Washington in a televised debate shown on Tuesday. All laid out common conservative themes in the debate, saying Washington needs to cut spending, bolster national security, and enforce immigration laws. They also tried to distinguish themselves to voters ahead of Saturday's state GOP assembly in Colorado Springs. Few remarks were directed at Democratic Senator Bennett, who's seeking a second full term in office and had $6.7 million in his campaign accounts at the end of 2015, far more than any of the GOP hopefuls. It was a chance to present themselves to voters ahead of the GOP state assembly, where anyone getting at least 30% of delegate votes wins a spot on the June 28th primary ballot. State Senator Tim Neville of Littleton is among those going through the convention. 4 candidates, Blaha, Frazier, Graham, and Kieser, aim to qualify for the primary after turning in signatures from each of Colorado's 7 congressional districts. 3 other candidates filed candidacy paperwork for the nomination, none with statewide name recognition. Also appearing Tuesday were El Paso County Commissioners Darrell Glenn and Peg Littleton and businessman Jerry Natividad. These were the top 8 of the 11 who have filed federal paperwork for a chance to run against incumbent Democrat Michael Bennet in the fall.
According to the Durango Herald, deeply conflicted by legislation that would have cracked down on sexting between minors, state lawmakers on Tuesday failed to advance the effort. How one viewed the measure was a matter of perspective. Some thought of it as a way to protect children from lifelong criminal records as a result of a poor decision. Others saw it as a way to curb the controversial practice, which can at times leave long-lasting scars. The bill failed to advance out of the House Public Health Care and Human Services Committee on a 7-6 party line vote, with Democrats voting against the measure, despite it being co-sponsored by a fellow Democrat, Representative Rhonda Fields of Aurora. Oddly, however, in a subsequent procedural vote, lawmakers did not vote to permanently kill the bill, which means it could be revived later in the session. In some cases, a teen convicted in a sexting case could be required to register as a sex offender, which would follow them through life. In an effort to ease concerns, bill sponsors agreed to an amendment that mandated petty violations in most cases, followed by the possibility of a misdemeanor charge or felony charge in rare circumstances, if the act was egregious. Most instances, however, would have resulted in counseling and education for those found guilty. One thing all lawmakers agreed upon is that sexting is an issue. With about 400,000 students in Colorado of texting age, it's been estimated that as many as 40% of them have engaged in sexting, equating to about 160,000 teens. Sometimes those messages are consensual, in which partners share an intimate moment with one another. Other times, however, it can be coerced or shared publicly. Durango School District 9R has not experienced significant problems. Sexting has not been a really high issue. Some of our bigger issues are around cyberbullying and impersonation, said Julie Pop, spokeswoman for Durango Schools. She said the district has had to take action and involve law enforcement around student social media pages for bullying and threats. Sexting, however, has not come up criminally.
According to the Durango Herald, several Durangoans are off to the races for the next 7 weeks, taking part in a statewide competition to create the best web application that will help businesses build a better competitive strategy. For the 3rd year, the Colorado Secretary of State's office is holding the Go Code Colorado Challenge, where teams from across the state compete to win a mentor weekend in Boulder and a chance of $25,000 to further develop their app. On Sunday, 37 teams throughout Colorado Springs, Denver, Durango, Fort Collins, and Grand Junction pitched their app idea to local tech and business leaders who judged the idea based on specific criteria. From each location, 2 teams were picked to advance to an expense-paid trip to Boulder for a mentor weekend. In Durango, out of the 2 teams picked, several were local residents. Kimberly Pennington, who moved to Durango 3 years ago, and her StartUpIn.co team created a simple-to-use web portal, which allows anyone to create a new business in Colorado. The other group to come out of Durango, Home Power Direct, wrote that its endeavor will be a solar marketplace with education and guided data gathering for customers, system sizing, automated bidding, and market intelligence for equipment providers. The teams will meet April 15th in Boulder. On May 26th, teams convene in Denver for a final review. The top 3 app and business ideas receive $25,000 each to keep developing their apps and businesses.
According to the Durango Herald, this spring the city of Durango plans to break ground on a section of pedestrian and cycling trail that will bring residents 1 mile closer to having a complete link between 3 Springs and the Animas River Trail. The Durango City Council on Tuesday unanimously approved extra funding for the almost $3 million project. The new 1 mile portion of the Smart 160 trail will connect the end of the trail at Davidson Creek Road to the portion of trail under the Grandview Interchange, also known as the Bridge to Nowhere. Construction will include a spur trail that will connect to Wilson Gulch Road. The trail is scheduled open in 2017, said Kathy Metz, the city's Parks and Recreation Director. Eventually, the city plans to build a trail from the end of the trail at River Road to Grandview Interchange to make the route continuous. The city has set aside almost $3 million to build the new 1-mile section. Grants will cover about $2,500,000 of the project, and the city will pay $600,000. This includes the project's design. The city is delaying the reconstruction of a trail section that connects Santa Rita Park to County Road 210 to help fund this new 1-mile project, according to city documents. The city had received a $200,000 Colorado Department of Transportation grant for this spur trail and set aside $600,000 for its reconstruction. That money will be spent on the new section of the Smart 160 trail now that CDOT and the Durango City Council have approved the reappropriation of the money. The Parks and Recreation Advisory Board will consider the reconstruction of the trail to County Road 210 as part of its strategy planning work along with other construction priorities. And now, here's our weather report.
A ridge of high pressure from our west will warm us up this afternoon, and tomorrow morning will be warmer than this morning as well. The next storm system from an upper-level low in the eastern Pacific will move in from the west-southwest and will draw in moisture from the south during the day Friday. Overall, 20% chances of rain and snow with scattered showers and thunderstorms for Friday afternoon and night on into Saturday. It is a mild system and snow altitude should be fairly high. So the translation is that for the valley areas, any precip should be rain rather than snow. Some models show only hints of rain at 1/100th of an inch on Friday and 2/100ths for Saturday, which could mean dry lightning conditions. However, other models suggest that the system to the south in Mexico could contribute moisture with the one from the Pacific and raise precip levels enough to clean the air and be noticed. Chances will continue through the weekend with a slight break Saturday night and Sunday. Then Sunday night we'll see the leading edge of the next set of low pressure systems that will make next week a constant flow of clouds and rainy possibilities. A low pressure system will move across the upper Midwest and Great Lakes today, bringing rain and snow to those regions. Farther south, rain and thunderstorms will be possible for much of the Mississippi, Ohio, and Tennessee valleys today. The system will spread rain into the mid-Atlantic and Northeast tonight, with the potential for snow in northern New England. Any snow across northern New England will change to rain tomorrow as the system pulls warmer weather into the region. Heavy rain is possible Thursday into Thursday night across portions of eastern New England, where 1 to 2 inches of rain is forecast, and some locations will see more. Widespread rain may linger across Maine into Friday morning before the system pulls away. In its wake, another round of cold temperatures will invade from the Midwest into the mid-Atlantic and Northeast. Scattered rain and snow showers will continue in the Midwest and Great Lakes on Thursday as colder air moves in. And the same will hold true for the eastern U.S. on Thursday night and Friday, while temperatures will remain 5 to 10 degrees below average today across the east. The colder air mass arriving behind this front will result in temperatures 10 to 20 degrees below average for Thursday and Friday across a wide area from the Midwest to the mid-Atlantic. Clouds will begin increasing tomorrow afternoon and be with us through at least the next 7 days to follow. Winds will be variable for all that time, but should stay well under those nasty ones we had earlier this week. Today's high in the 60s, tomorrow in the lower 70s, and then mid and lower 60s should be constant all the way through next week. Lows will be all around in the 30s for the duration of the next 9 days, and the series of low pressure systems coming. Now back to Kelsey with more news.
According to the Cortez Journal, Montezuma County veterans will no longer need to travel to Albuquerque for hearing aids and checkups. You can do it right here in Mancos. All thanks to Christine Lawrence, local speech pathologist and doctor of audiology. Lawrence's office is at 111 North Main Street. Lawrence became interested in hearing loss at age 11. Her brother was deaf and there was not many resources to help him. Lots of finger spelling and hard work showed her the need for much more. About 2 years ago, Lawrence purchased the office in Mancos as well as the Beehive, drop in there for extraordinary facials and other personal programs. She works on speech and hearing here and out of state. When a veteran approached the VA's choice program and told them about her, they called and she signed up immediately and is now an audiologist for all veterans, saving them that tedious trip to New Mexico. Veterans must first contact Rick Torres, the Montezuma County Veterans Services. His phone is 970-564-2779. The office is at 107 North Chestnut. Torres will then refer you to Dr. Christine Lawrence in Mancos.
We've been considering doing a little more tech news and science news, and for that pursuit, for 72 seconds in 1977, the Big Ear Radio Telescope of Ohio State University in Delaware, Ohio, recorded a signal streaming from the area of a globular cluster M55 in Sagittarius. Astronomer Jerry Ammon working on SETI, that's short for Search for Terrestrial Intelligence. A volunteer at the time, Ammon felt it seemed like the exact kind of alien message he'd been searching for. Its frequency near the hydrogen line marked a strong range that extraterrestrials might use to communicate over vast reaches of space. Ammon circled the signal on a printout and scrawled the word "wow." The signal was never observed again. In the time since, astronomers ruled out earthly origins like passing satellite or our own signals bouncing off nearby asteroids or planets or coming from them. The mystery has fueled imagination for science fiction writers and alien movies since. Astronomer Antonio Paris of Florida's St. Petersburg College came up with a potential solution earlier this year that doesn't require aliens. At the time of the WOW signal, two sun-orbiting comets, Comet Christensen and Comet Gibbs, were in the same area of the sky. Paris believes these dirty snowball comets and their hydrogen clouds could be prime suspects. As it happens, Comet Christensen will pass through the same region on January 25, 2017. And on January 7, 2018, Comet Gibbs will do the same. Paris hopes to recreate the WOW signal by aiming a dedicated radio telescope at the region. But his team at the Center for Planetary Science is a little short of cash and has launched a GoFundMe page to help raise funds to purchase and install a 5-meter radio telescope. So far, $1,300 of the $12,000 needed has been raised. So, if you were looking for a unique way to spend money, wow, there's one for you.
According to the Cortez Journal, the Mancos School of the West has announced 2 new classes, Radical Dimensions in Glass Mosaic with Kelly Knickerbocker and Gord Ocean Drum with Janice T. Reich. For Radical Dimensions in Glass Mosaic, Kelly Knickerbocker will lead students through a fast-paced combination of lecture/slideshow, cutting, setting demos, and the creation of 2 mosaics. This will take place Friday and Saturday, June 3rd to 4th, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. with a 1-hour lunch. There must be a minimum of 8 and a maximum of 15 students. The fee is $400 and you must register before May 1st. For the other class, Gord Ocean Drum, students will play an ocean drum for wellness and bring in the summer solstice with the meditating sound of waves crashing onto the beach with Janice T. Reich at the Artist's Studio in Mancos. These sounds are created when rolling a Gord Ocean Drum side to side and in a circular motion. Students will learn how to construct and decorate an ocean drum out of a large canteen gourd in this one-day class. This class will take place Saturday, June 11th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. There must be a minimum of 3 and a maximum of 6 students. The cost is $85 with materials. Register at www.schoolofthewest.org.
Reported in the San Juan Record in Utah, the building just above the Hideout Golf Club in Monticello, Utah, has a new life for the short term. Originally built in the early 1940s, the building housed the Vanadium Corporation of America's uranium vanadium plant administrative offices. The federal government bought the mill in the mid-1940s and then later donated the building to San Juan County to become the home of the first San Juan Hospital in 1947. It operated operated until 1960, when the current San Juan County Hospital was built. From 1960 until 2000, the building had several lives, including a brief stint as the first clubhouse of the golf course and as a restaurant and a nightclub. Gary Martinez purchased the building with the hopes of using it for a golf camp. In 2000, the building was purchased by Four Corners School of Outdoor Education and repurposed for its office until the school moved into the new state-of-the-art Canyon Country Discovery Center campus in late 2015. In a win-win agreement by all concerned, the building will be sold by Four Corners School to S-Power as a temporary office space to manage their local operations on the newly constructed Latigo Wind Farm Park north of Monticello. S-Power is headquartered in Salt Lake City with offices in San Francisco, Long Beach, and New York City, and is a leading renewable energy company that owns and operates solar and wind farms across the U.S. and the UK. Once S-Power no longer needs the building, the company will donate it to the city of Monticello, along with up to $30,000 in funds for demolition and remediation. Remediation is needed because of the asbestos shingles under the stucco coating. The city will repurpose the property to support operations at the Hideout Golf Course and Community Center.
And now the Dolores County Sheriff's Roundup for the week of March 28th, April 3rd. Stop signs that were run over were reported at the locations of 9th Street, Main Street, and College. The case is under current investigation. A deputy responded with Colorado State Patrol to a single-car injury accident with damage on Highway 491. A deputy performed a civil standby for a landlord in town. A deputy responded to a county resident's report of a motorist who speeds repeatedly on county roads. A deputy successfully unlocked a vehicle for a motorist at a town business. A local business reported finding a purse. A local resident requested assistance in unlocking a vehicle. A deputy was successful in unlocking the car. That's it for this week's Roundup. Stay tuned next week for more updates.
In today's High Country Happenings on Wacky Wednesday, Thursday, April 7th, there's a Natural Solutions Essential Oil class at 6:30 p.m. at Eclectic Aromas on 37th East Main Street in Cortez. April 5th through 16th is the 22nd Creativity Festivity, which is a celebration of learning through the arts. Local arts teachers select works from their schools K through 12 for the Creativity Festivity exhibit at the Durango Arts Center. This year's Creativity Festivity theme is Designing the Future and celebrates children's imaginative work in art, theater, poetry, and music. Throughout the two-week celebration, DAC will host events and opportunities for local youth to share their work with the greater arts community in Durango. Children's creative work will be on display as a feature exhibit at the Barbara Conrad Gallery. The opening reception is Thursday, April 7th from 4 to 6 p.m. For more details on this program and a host of other Art Center events, go online to durangoarts.org. And both Mancos and Cortez are having spring cleanup days. Mancos will be June 3rd and 4th from 8 to 5 or until full at the Public Works Shop. For more details on all town activities, go online to mancoscolorado.com. And Cortez Cleanup Week is April 18th through the 23rd. They say to place all items in bags or boxes at the curb to be picked up on your regular trash day. On Saturday the 23rd, residents can also bring large items to the drop-off site, the BMX parking lot at East Empire Street. No tires or electronics. So go online to cityofcortez.com for more details. And in a program note, next Tuesday, April 12th, DCTV will be hosting a live call-in show directly following the News at Noon program. We hope to involve the public in discussions of interest to you. We are calling it Talk Tuesday. This will be your chance to voice what's on your mind. We'll air more details on Monday and include the call-in phone number at the time of the show. We hope to hear your voice. We'd love to share information about what's happening to support all of regional groups, individuals, and communities, so please let us know your event by sending an email to dcbnnews@gmail.com or call the station at 677-4119. And we're adding all of the High Country Happenings info right onto our Facebook page.
Again, thanks for tuning in. This program is aired live at noon and rebroadcast at 2:30 and 8 p.m. on Channel 32.1 Dolores County, on Channel 30.4 in Montezuma County, and their cable Channel 5.
And you can rewatch the broadcast on YouTube, search DCTV News at Noon, and please like us on DCTV News at Noon Facebook page and follow us on Twitter.
For Kendra Cook, Jerry Tope, and all those who are working to TV in the News at Noon program from Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. See you next time.